Full Metal Jacket, 1987, is one of the most iconic war films of all time, directed by Stanley Kubrick. Known for its unforgettable performances, gritty realism, and unforgettable lines, the film captured the brutality of the Vietnam War and its impact on soldiers. But after 38 years, what has happened to the cast who brought this powerful story to life? While some have continued their careers, others have faced personal struggles, tragedies, and unexpected turns. Join us as we explore the lives of the Full Metal Jacket cast in 2025, uncovering where they are now and the challenges they've faced since the film's release. Ermey played the unforgettable gunnery Sergeant Hartman in 1987, at the age of 43. His portrayal of Hartman, the relentless and brutal drill instructor, became iconic for its raw energy and cutting insults. Hartman was a character who embodied authority and control, pushing his recruits to their limits. Ermey's own military background contributed to the authenticity of the role, making him the perfect fit for the part. Despite his success, Ermey faced significant personal challenges. His first marriage ended in divorce, and while he had children, his family life was often turbulent, especially during the stress of his career. Though a celebrated figure in Hollywood, he battled with alcoholism throughout his life, a struggle that haunted him for years. After his marriage dissolved, he remained a steadfast figure in Hollywood but carried the weight of his personal demons. Tragically, Ermey passed away on April 15, 2018 at the age of 74, from complications due to pneumonia. Kevyn Major Howard, who portrayed Rafterman, began filming Full Metal Jacket in 1987 at the age of 31. Rafterman, a young and eager combat photographer, symbolized the naive optimism of soldiers thrust into the horrors of war. Despite the success of his role, Howard struggled to find stable work in Hollywood following the film's release. He never managed to capitalize on his initial fame, leading to a long period of financial instability and professional disappointment. Howard's love life was equally troubled. He had a brief, failed marriage that ended in bitterness. Despite the difficulties, Howard did find some happiness in his personal life with children, though he never regained the fame that Full Metal Jacket promised him. He passed away on February 14, 2025, at the age of 69. Although he lived a quiet life away from the limelight in his later years, his struggles continued, and the lingering shadows of his past were never far from him. Marcus D'Amico, who played Hand Job in Full Metal Jacket, started filming at the tender age of 22 in 1987. Hand Job was a fresh recruit, overwhelmed and vulnerable in the harsh world of boot camp. The character, while minor, reflected the immense pressure and fear that young soldiers experienced. D'Amico's real-life struggles mirrored those of his character in many ways. Despite a promising start to his career, D'Amico's life was marred by intense personal struggles, including a rocky romantic life. He married young, but his relationship ended in a painful divorce, leaving him to deal with the emotional fallout and solitude. Professionally, D'Amico faced difficulty finding steady work, and his life slowly descended into financial instability. He battled severe mental health issues, including depression, which led to a period of isolation. On December 16, 2020, D'Amico tragically passed away at the age of 55, succumbing to pneumonia, marking the untimely end of an actor whose potential had been overshadowed. Stanley Kubrick, the legendary director of Full Metal Jacket, contributed his voice to the film in a minor but significant role as Murphy at 59, a soldier whose death plays a pivotal role in the narrative. Kubrick, at the age of 58 when he began working on the film, was already a well-established filmmaker by the time he took on the project. Known for his perfectionism and genius, Kubrick's personal life was marked by isolation and struggles with mental health. Despite his professional success, his marriages were tumultuous, and he was known to have a complex relationship with his children. His deep obsession with his work, paired with his perfectionism, led to a strained and often lonely existence. Kubrick's final years were spent under immense pressure as he directed and produced films that would leave a lasting legacy in cinema. He passed away on March 7, 1999 at the age of 70 from a heart attack, his sudden death leaving a world of questions unanswered. Adam Baldwin, who played Animal Mother in Full Metal Jacket, 1987, was 25 during filming. Animal Mother is a brutal, aggressive Marine who embraces the violence of war without hesitation. Baldwin's post-Full Metal Jacket career was consistent but largely relegated to supporting roles in TV shows like Firefly, 2002, and Chuck, 2007 to 2012, never quite breaking out as a leading man. His personal life, with his marriage to Shannon and their children, faced many difficulties, particularly when his career didn't achieve the desired stardom. Baldwin struggled with the emotional weight of typecasting and professional limitations, which took a toll on his family relationships. Despite being a beloved character actor, the unfulfilled promise of his early roles left Baldwin feeling disconnected from his own success. Now 63 in 2025, Baldwin still works, but his life is tinged with a sense of longing for the opportunities that never materialized, both in his career and personal life. Matthew Modine, who portrayed Private Joker in Full Metal Jacket, 1987, was 28 during filming. Private Joker is a sarcastic and reflective Marine journalist, providing a dark yet insightful perspective on the brutality of war. Modine's career after the film didn't reach the heights many expected. While he took on diverse roles in films like Birdie, 1984, and The Dark Knight Rises, 2012, none matched the iconic status of Joker. His personal life, marked by his marriage to Caridad Rivera and their children, was often strained due to career struggles and personal frustrations. Modine's desire for greater recognition in Hollywood led to inner turmoil, and his life was marred by a feeling of unfulfilled potential. At 66 in 2025, he remains active in his career but continues to grapple with feelings of being overlooked, while his family life still bears the scars of years spent pursuing a dream that never fully materialized. Vincent D'Onofrio, who portrayed Private Pyle in Full Metal Jacket, 1987, was 28 at the time of filming. Private Pyle is a tragic character who undergoes a horrifying transformation from a bullied recruit to a broken soldier. D'Onofrio's portrayal earned him critical acclaim, but despite that, he faced a difficult career path, often struggling to escape typecasting. While he starred in Law & Order, Criminal Intent, 2001 to 2011, D'Onofrio faced a series of professional setbacks that left him feeling disillusioned. His marriage to Karen Van der Donk and their children was marked by strain, especially as his career path didn't align with his earlier expectations. Personal battles with mental health, substance abuse, and emotional isolation made family life difficult, and D'Onofrio's struggles were reflected in his roles, which often mirrored his inner turmoil. At 65 in 2025, D'Onofrio is still acting, but his life continues to be marked by emotional and professional challenges. Ed Ross, who portrayed Lieutenant Touchdown in Full Metal Jacket in 1987 at the age of 38, was cast as a determined and no-nonsense officer focused on mission success, his character's resolve mirroring his personal drive. While his career initially blossomed with notable roles in films like The Punisher and TV shows such as The Net, Ed's personal life became a series of unfortunate events. His marriage to actress Linda Miller fell apart, and the two eventually divorced, leaving Ed to raise 2 children on his own. The stress of raising his children and the emotional fallout from his failed marriage took a heavy toll on him. Compounding the issue was his struggle with alcohol dependency, which led to a gradual decline in both his personal life and professional opportunities. With his career stagnating, Ed withdrew from public life. By 2025, at 75, Ed lives a reclusive life, distant from his children and grappling with a sense of isolation. Arliss Howard, who portrayed Private Cowboy in Full Metal Jacket, 1987, was 33 during filming. Private Cowboy is a compassionate and level-headed Marine leader, attempting to maintain order amidst chaos. After the film, Howard's career never fully capitalized on his talent, with only a few notable roles in films like The Postman, 1997, and The War, 1994. His marriage to Deborah Goodwin and their children faced strain as Howard struggled with his lack of major career achievements. The inability to find stable work in significant projects caused personal frustration, making it difficult to maintain harmony in his family life. Howard's personal life became marked by regret, as the emotional toll of his career frustrations weighed heavily on his relationships. At 70 in 2025, Howard lives a quieter life, with his career largely in the past and his personal life carrying the burden of unrealized potential and emotional hardship. Dorian Harewood, who portrayed 8-Ball in Full Metal Jacket, 1987, was 37 during filming. 8-Ball is a skilled and confident Marine, providing camaraderie in the face of war's horrors. Harewood's career, however, struggled to gain momentum post-Full Metal Jacket. Despite his talent, he faced difficulty landing prominent roles, leading to a sense of stagnation in his career. His relationships, including multiple marriages, were burdened by the pressure of his professional disappointments. The emotional weight of being a talented actor yet feeling sidelined professionally took a toll on Harewood, creating a deep sense of isolation. His personal life reflected this, marked by the collapse of several relationships and a constant battle with feelings of inadequacy. At 74 in 2025, Harewood still works but remains largely underappreciated, with his life defined by years of unmet potential and emotional scars from the weight of unfulfilled dreams and broken relationships. John Terry, who played Lieutenant Lockhart in Full Metal Jacket in 1987 at 37, took on the role of a war correspondent intent on capturing the brutal realities of the conflict. However, his real-life narrative proved just as tragic. Despite early career success with roles in The Pretender and Everwood, John's personal life was filled with hardship. His marriage to actress Jane Harris ended after years of emotional turmoil, and they parted ways in a bitter divorce. The couple's son, Samuel, grew up estranged from his father, struggling with a lack of emotional connection and support. As John grappled with intense anxiety and depression, his professional life suffered too, and the acting roles dried up. What seemed like a promising career fizzled out, and the emotional weight of his personal failures compounded his sense of regret. By 2025, at 75, John is largely isolated from his son and any close family, living quietly. Kirk Taylor, who portrayed Payback in Full Metal Jacket in 1987 at the age of 28, played a tough Marine who never backed down from a fight, always putting his comrades first. However, his personal life was marked by a series of unfortunate events. After marrying actress Natalie Williams in 1990 and having 2 children, the strain of his demanding acting career led to emotional neglect in his marriage. The relationship gradually deteriorated, and despite attempts to salvage their connection, Kirk and Natalie divorced in 2003. The emotional toll of the split, coupled with Kirk's ongoing struggles with depression and financial instability, left him feeling defeated. As his career faltered, his relationship with his children became increasingly strained, and he found himself without the support he desperately needed. By 2025, at 65, Kirk lives in relative isolation, far removed from his former career and family. Kieron Jecchinis, who portrayed Crazy Earl in Full Metal Jacket in 1987 at the age of 23, played a fearless and unpredictable Marine with a reputation for eccentricity and boldness. However, his off-screen life was a stark contrast to the character he embodied. Kieron's marriage to actress Jessica Davis, which began with high hopes, quickly unraveled due to infidelity and emotional neglect. As the marriage crumbled, so too did Kieron's connection with his 2 children, whom he became increasingly distant from due to his struggles with alcohol and gambling. These personal battles wreaked havoc on his career as well, with fewer roles offered to him as his reputation soured. Kieron's life became a downward spiral, with professional opportunities drying up and his family life in tatters. By 2025, at 64, Kieron lives in a state of isolation, having lost touch with his children and most of his family. Tim Colceri, who played Gunner in Full Metal Jacket at 36 in 1987, brought to life a character that reflected the emotional numbness and savagery of war. His portrayal of a ruthless, trigger-happy helicopter gunner captured the brutal, dehumanizing effects of combat. Despite his striking performance, Colceri's career struggled to gain momentum, and he was often relegated to smaller, less significant roles. His personal life mirrored the pain and detachment his character experienced. Colceri went through 2 failed marriages, and his relationship with his children was strained. Struggling with financial hardship, loneliness, and depression, he found himself disconnected from the fame his role had brought him. By 2025, at 73, Colceri remains in seclusion, living quietly in obscurity, haunted by the emotional wounds of both his professional disappointments and personal tragedies. David Parry, who played a Paris Island recruit at the age of 33 in Full Metal Jacket, portrayed a soldier struggling with the harsh realities of military training and combat. His performance was raw and authentic, but after the film, Parry's career struggled to gain traction. Despite his talent, he found himself cast in fewer roles, never able to escape the shadow of his iconic portrayal. Parry's personal life mirrored his career struggles. He endured 2 failed marriages, with little involvement in the lives of his children, and found himself battling alcoholism and depression. His emotional turmoil intensified as the years went by, and he faced significant financial struggles. By 2025, at 70, Parry lives in seclusion, with few connections to his past career or family, still grappling with the ghosts of his personal and professional setbacks. Sal Lopez, who portrayed The Rock in Full Metal Jacket at the age of 33, played a strong, dependable Marine who embodied loyalty and physical strength. While his character was beloved by fans for his unwavering dedication, Lopez's career never reached the heights that many anticipated. After Full Metal Jacket, he struggled to find substantial roles and was often cast in minor parts that failed to make a lasting impact. His personal life was no less turbulent. Lopez's marriage ended in divorce, and he remained without children, facing emotional isolation in his later years. The failure of his career weighed heavily on him, leading to bouts of depression and despair. By 2025, at 70, Lopez lives a quiet life, dealing with the physical toll of age and health issues, as well as the emotional scars left by years of feeling overlooked and forgotten by the industry that once held so much promise for him. Papillon Soo, who played the Da Nang hooker in Full Metal Jacket, was 26 when she filmed the role in 1987. Her character symbolized the tragic exploitation of civilians during the Vietnam War, embodying the dehumanizing effects of the conflict. Despite early recognition for her performance, Soo's career was marked by typecasting, and she never managed to break free from roles that limited her potential. Her personal life was even more heartbreaking. She married an emotionally abusive man, and the relationship quickly deteriorated. They had 2 children, but the constant emotional turmoil left Soo isolated, and the marriage ended in a painful divorce. She struggled with guilt over her children's estrangement and the collapse of her family. By 2025, at 63 years old, Soo is withdrawn from the public eye, living a solitary life, burdened by the weight of her personal and professional failures. David Palffy, who portrayed the mass grave soldier in Full Metal Jacket, filmed his role in 1987 at the age of 18. His character, symbolizing the brutal dehumanization of soldiers during war, left a lasting impression on audiences. Palffy's career, however, failed to live up to expectations, with him being relegated to minor and villainous roles. His personal life mirrored his career struggles. He married young, but his relationship soon deteriorated due to his growing dependency on alcohol and emotional neglect. Palffy's life became even more tragic when he lost his only son in a heartbreaking accident, which led to deep depression and self-destructive behavior. By 2025, at 56 years old, Palffy lives far from the spotlight, working low-paying jobs and grappling with the emotional scars of his past. His journey reflects the devastation of personal loss and unrealized potential, much like the character he portrayed. Who is your favorite character from Full Metal Jacket? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.